A very good morning to all of you. Myself, Dr. Preeti Yadav. I am working as Assistant Professor of Physics in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. I am from Applied Science Department. Today, I will discuss truss and its types and force displacement relationship. Let's start. First of all, what is truss? A truss is a structure comprising of one or more triangular units constructing with straight members whose ends are connected at joints or nodes. This is the example of a truss. These are the members of a truss. Also, truss distribute load over many members. Truss is an assembly of straight members connected at joints. No member is continuous. No member is continuous through a joint. Most structures are made of several trusses joined together to form a space framework. Each truss carries those loads which acts in its plane and may be treated as a two-dimensional structure. A truss is used in building towers and roof structures. If all the bars lie in a plane, the structure is a planar truss. The main parts of a planar truss are here. This is the top chord and this is the bottom chord. This is the vertical members and this is the diagonal members. In the next slide, we will discuss. First of all, what is the characteristics of truss? The member of the truss should be in a plane. Second is the members are connected at their intersection by means of frictionless pins or hinges. And the third is loads and reaction are applied only at joints. And the fourth is the centroid of the members must coincide with centroid of the joints. And what is truss member? The members which form the outline or perimeter of a truss are generally called the chord members. There are two types of chord members, top chord and bottom chord. And here, this is the perimeter of the truss, and upper perimeter is known as top chord and lower perimeter is called bottom chord. And what is web members or members? The interior members connected the joints by the chord are called the web members. There are two types of web members. The first is diagonal web members and the second is vertical members. Here, this is the supports. Here, the top chord. Here, these plane known as the diagonal web members and the straight is known as the vertical web members or vertical members of a truss. Now the next is, why are trusses strong? Why trusses are used in steel building, in bridges, etc. Why? Because trusses derive their strength from the triangle shape of their structure. The simplest of plane polygons, a triangle is unique in that it is defined by the length of its sides. That is, one and only one triangle can be drawn if the length of three sides is given. Trusses are physically stronger than other ways of arranging structural elements. Nearly every material can resist a much larger load in tension or compression rather than in shear, bending, torsion or other kinds of force. Because in trusses there are two types of forces. One is tension and other is compression. And these two forces are stronger than other kinds of forces like bending force, shear force, torsion, etc. Therefore, trusses are strong and used in buildings, steel buildings, bridges, etc. Why only triangles are used in trusses, not rectangle, etc.? Why? Rectangles and squares are not very strong because the middle of each side would tend to bend or buckle easily, and these are not used in trusses. If we use triangle, then if we apply load, then there is a bending, and then there is bending of the sides and breakdown of that sides. And next is truss is a structure made of triangle because triangles are strong, because when you define the length of three sides, the relationship between the nodes is fixed. Similarly, when you identify any two angles on a side and two sides and a common angle, all other properties are fixed. If we consider only sides and angles, then other properties of that triangle are fixed. In other shape like rectangle, polygon, there are more degrees of rigidity required to create a fixed structure. But in triangles, if we change two sides and angles, then all other properties are fixed. Now, triangles have sides that reinforce each other and they divide all the loads to their members. Therefore, triangles are used in trusses as compared to other shapes. Now, what is the different types of trusses? There are three types of trusses that is based upon the number of members and the joints. The first is perfect truss, where m is equal to 2j minus 3, where m is the number of members in the truss and j is the number of joints. In the diagram, these are the members of a truss, and these round is the number of joints in a truss. Now, second is deficient trusses, where m is less than 2j minus 3, in which number of members is less than number of joints. And the third is redundant trusses. Here m is greater than 2j minus 3, where m means members is greater than number of joints. Let's discuss. First is perfect trusses, a structure that is made of members just sufficient to keep it in equilibrium when loaded without change of shape. Means number of members is equal to number of joints. It is efficient and optimized structures and does not change the shape of the structure when load is applied. And the next is deficient, is clear from its name, a structure that is made of members less than sufficient that leads to change of shape when load is added, leading to collapsing of structure. When load is applied, their number of members are less, but load is more. Therefore, there is a collapsing of structure, not very efficient and optimized. Third is redundant trusses. Redundant is a structure that is made of members more than sufficient that does not let the shape of the structure to change. Means number of members is greater than number of joints. Means very efficient and optimized. If members are greater, then the load is applied. These are the three trusses that are used in structure. Now the assumption in trusses, all the members are straight and have uniform cross section. If the members are not straight, then there is a bending movement. Now then trusses is changed into a frame. Now second, all the members have negligible weight. The weight of the members are negligible in compared to load that is applied on a trusses. Third, all members are connected at joints only through pin connection, which are frictionless, not center of the member. Now, next point, the external force must be applied at the joints. The force is applied only at the joints. If the load is applied center of the member, then there is a bending of the member and there is a bending moment, then the truss is changed into a frame. Now the application of trusses. Trusses are used in roof of a factory shed. In a warehouses, trusses are used. In railway platform, trusses are also used. In garage shed, transmission towers, crane trusses, bridge trusses, sports stadium trusses. These are the main application where trusses are used to make the structure of these all the roof, warehouse, railway platform. These are the main application of trusses. Now, how to solve a truss problem? For method of section, these are the points where we have to find the solve a truss problem. First of all, find a free body diagram. You draw a free body diagram. Second, take an imaginary section to cut the truss into two pieces in condition that the number of unknown forces does not exceed 3. There are only 3 number of unknown forces. Third is apply the equilibrium condition on one piece of the truss. After all that, determine all the forces. Positive forces are tension and the negative forces are compression. These are the points to solve a truss problem. Next is force displacement relationship. Force displacement relationship means when we apply the force, then what is the displacement or deformation in the structure. There are, first of all, these are the steps to solve any force displacement relationship. Analysis of deformable bodies. First is to study of the forces that is applied on the body. Now, second is an equilibrium requirement. The second is study of deformation and condition of geometric compatibility. And the third is application of force deformation reaction. Here there are two springs A and B and supported by a rigid support, and there is a piston that create force on these two springs A and B. Here Kb is the spring constant of spring B and AK is the spring constant of spring A, and the length of the system before deformation. Now there is the perpendicular force on the spring, on the piston, or as well as spring. Now this is the delta is the deformation. Now this is a free body diagram of the piston. Here is a piston. There are two forces Fa and Fb due to the spring. First of all, remove all the supports for free body diagram. And this is delta is the deformation. And these two forces along y direction. And this is the upward force on the piston. This is a free body diagram of the piston. Now the free body diagram of the spring A. Remove all the supports. This is the deformation delta A in spring A. This is the Fa is the perpendicular force represented by Fa. This is the perpendicular. This is Fa due to the this support force Fa, and this is the free body diagram of spring B and deformation delta B, and this is the perpendicular force Fb, and this is the force due to this support. Now, in figure, delta is a deformation, delta A and delta B are the deformation in spring A and B respectively. First step is study of forces and equilibrium requirement. Therefore, we know that F is equal to Kx. Force is directly proportional to displacement. Therefore, Fa is equal to Ka delta A in spring A. K is the spring constant and delta is the deformation, means displacement. And Fb is equal to Kb delta B. Kb spring constant of spring B and delta B is deformation in spring B. Now is the equilibrium requirement, because here only y component of force, therefore delta Fy is equal to 0 is the moment, and this is the x component. If we consider only Fy is 0 because there is a vertical force, then there is Fa plus Fb and this F is negative. Therefore, Fa plus Fb minus F is equal to 0. F is equal to Fa plus Fp. This is equation 1. And the second step, study of deformation and condition of geometric compatibility. And the geometric compatibility equation is delta A is equal to delta B and is equal to delta. Consider both the deformation are equal and that is equal to delta. And the third step is application of force deformation relation. Means now to find the relation between force and displacement. From equation this, Fa is equal to Ka delta, because replace delta A by delta. Similarly, Fb is equal to Kb delta. Put these two equation into equation 1. Therefore, F is equal to Ka delta plus Kb delta. Here, delta is equal to F upon me Ka plus Kb. Now, this is the force displacement relationship, because this is the displacement and this is the force. This is force displacement relation. If value of Ka and Kb are known, then we have find the value of delta can be easily calculated. Now F is equal to Fa plus Kb delta. Here Fa is equal to F minus Kb delta, and the value of Fa is equal to F minus Kb, and the value of delta is equal to F upon Ka plus Kb. Fa is equal to F dot Ka upon Ka plus Kb. Similarly, Fb is equal to Fkb upon Ka plus Kb. Now, the uniaxially loading in deformation. This is the vertical deformation. Now, there is a uniaxially loading in deformation. Here, there are three members. Here is the length L1, L2 and L3. This is the cross-section area, and P is the force that is applied on these members. L1 is equal to L2, L1 is equal to L2, greater than L3. A2 is greater than A1, that is equal to 3. A1 is equal to A3, less than A2. Here delta is the deformation. Delta 1 in member 1, delta 2 in member 2 and delta 3 in member 3. These three uniaxial members under tensile force P. They may be of steel, rod, copper, etc. A1, A2, A3 are the cross section. L1, L2, L3 are the length of the members. Let P is applied gradually, slowly. That is applying delta P1 and observing deformation. Then delta P2 and observing deformation. And delta P3 and then observing deformation. Similarly, we get a plot graph between tensile force and deformation. For member 1 is the more deformation, then member 2 are same. In member 3 there is a less deformation. If we get a plot like for linear material, deformation is directly proportional to tensile force. And most of the time we have non-linear system, then this is the for one member, for two member and three member. This is the graph between tensile force P and deformation. Now we consider on a linear system, that is the net result normalized graph between deformation P by A, pressure upon me area, pressure में force upon area, the deformation upon me length, and this is all the three members converge to a single line, and the slope of the line is a modulus of elasticity, that is equal to P by A upon me delta deformation by L is the, because this is also length, this is length, this is a dimensionless quantity. Therefore, delta is equal to, from this equation, PL upon me A. This is the expression for deformation on uniaxially. Now, this is the example for truss. A pin truss is shown in equilibrium in the figure. It carries loads at E and F as shown in the figure. It is pinned to a rigid foundation at A and supported at point B. Determine the reaction at A and B and forces in the member AC and 80. Now here this is the divided. Here at point F there is a load 15,000 lb. lb is pound. There at point A there is a 10,000 lb. There is the at point B there is a roller support. At point B there is a friction force Fp, and at point A there is a force, horizontal force Fax, at vertical Fay, and this distance, there is a, these are the points. Now the first condition of free body diagram, first equilibrium condition is torque is 0 at point A, that is equal to 0. Therefore at point B there is a force Fb into 16. This, the length is 16, distance is 16. This is the anti-clockwise direction, anti-clockwise movement positive, minus at point F 15,000, and the clockwise direction, and the distance from point A is 8, minus 10,000 and into 12. Distance from A is 12, and this is equal to 0. And solving this equation, the value of Fb is equal to 15,000 lb. Now the second equilibrium condition is sum of the horizontal force Fx is equal to 0. Here only one force Fax, which is equal to 0, and the summation of Fy is equal to 0. Here Fy, Fay and Fb plus, and these are the negative, minus 15,000 minus 10,000 is equal to 0. Now put the value of Fb 15,000, therefore Fay is equal to 10,000 lb. And we know that Fa is equal to F square Ax plus F square Ay, and Fa is equal to 10,000 lb. Now forces in member AC and AD. Let AC is under compression and AD is under tensile or tension. Compression, AC towards this direction and towards it, therefore this is under compression, and AD towards this, and toward this there is a tension. Now the forces act on point A. At point A, there is a vertical force Fay from point C, Fasc, and from point D, there is Fad. Now represents this on this diagram, Fad along x-axis. Resolve the components of the forces into two. Fac into two components. Along x-axis, Fasc cos alpha, and vertical Fasc sin alpha. This is the vertical. From geometry, we know that sin alpha is equal to 3 by 5 because AC scale, AC, here AC, this is equal in this triangle, is any point is the 4 and this value is 3, therefore AC is equal to 5. And sin theta is equal to perpendicular upon my hypotenuse. Therefore, sin alpha is equal to 3 by 5 and cos alpha is equal to 4 by 5. And we know that Fx is equal to, from equilibrium, but Fx is equal to 0. Therefore, Fad minus Fac cos alpha, because in opposite direction, is equal to 0, and Fad is equal to Fac cos alpha. Fad is equal to Fac cos alpha is equal to 4 by 5. And the second condition, Fy is equal to 0. Fay minus Fac sin alpha. Fac is equal to sin alpha is equal to, Fac is equal to Fay upon me sin alpha, and is equal to the value of sin alpha is equal to 3 by 5. And solving this equation, we get the value of Fac is equal to 1666.67 lb. And by using this Fac, the value of Fa AD is equal to 1333.33 lb. This is the answer. FAD and FAC. Now, the important question related to truss force displacement relationship are what is truss and their types with figures. Now, second is why triangles is used in trusses. Explain. Third is what is the application of trusses. Next, what is the relation between force and displacement? Thank you.